Maine politics just got rocked, and the establishment is panicking. A Democratic veteran, Graham Platner, is rising fast, powered by working-class voters and unapologetically progressive ideas. But now, the corporate media has declared war on him. CNN just launched an opposition-style investigation, not into corruption or scandal, but into the fact that Platner dares to call himself left-wing. The message is clear. You can be corrupt, you can be extreme right, but God forbid you be authentic. Platner, a Marine turned oyster farmer, represents everything the Democratic base says it wants: honesty, service, and courage. Yet, instead of backing him, party insiders recruited establishment favorite Janet Mills to box him out. Now, CNN is doing their part, amplifying every controversy they can invent. Watch how anchor Erin Burnett and reporter Andrew Kaczynski frame him as a problem, not a possibility.
What's really interesting, Erin, about these posts that we found is it shows most of them took place in the last 5 years, and it really shows this authenticity that has driven his campaign and made him so popular. But it also shows some of these left-wing positions that could really prove costly in a state that is known for electing
Classic corporate framing, authentic but dangerous. The reporter admits people like Platner's honesty, then smothers it under a warning label, left-wing positions. Notice they never say right-wing when describing Republican extremism. That word's been sanitized. But left-wing? That's treated like a crime scene. This is how the media disciplines populist candidates. Praise them for being real, then condemn them for being real about the wrong things. And here's where they crank up the hysteria, the big revelation that Platner once called himself a communist. Brace yourself. It's almost funny how desperate this next clip sounds.
Now, in one post from 2021, he wrote, quote, "I got older and became a communist." In another, he called himself a vegetable-growing, psychedelics-taking socialist, writing that after his 4 tours overseas, he stopped believing in what he called the patriotic nonsense that got me there in the first place.
That's it. That's the scandal. A combat veteran who survived 4 tours and dared to question blind patriotism. They treat the word communist like it's radioactive, as if a Facebook joke is an act of treason. Meanwhile, billionaires crash the economy and get glowing CNBC interviews. This country funds public schools, Social Security, and Medicare, all forms of democratic socialism, but the moment someone says it out loud, the media gasps like it's 1952. And Burnett makes it worse by circling the taboo instead of explaining it. Watch.
So again, going into the details, and now, in the context of Mamdani and socialist and Trump calling him a communist and all these words, actually, they are front and center.
And just like that, no definitions, no facts, just fear. Words like socialist and communist become empty scare tactics that shut down debate. The only acceptable ideology, according to the corporate media, is one that never challenges corporate power. And it works. Candidates are forced to disown beliefs that millions of Americans share. Listen to Platner being pushed into that ritual of denial.
I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist. I own a small business.
That's the trap. Defend your patriotism, prove your loyalty, apologize for caring about workers. The establishment loves that performance because it keeps every conversation inside their comfort zone. To their credit, Burnett and Kaczynski never outright insult Platner. They don't have to. Just asking the question implies guilt. And when Platner talks about what actually shaped his worldview, serving in war, that honesty gets treated as another red flag.
What he saw overseas, how that shaped his politics. There's one post where he wrote, "My time in America's imperial wars definitely radicalized me further. I'm significantly more left today than I was back then." It's difficult to see all that horror as well as the grift, corruption, and not find the whole thing totally bankrupt.
And there it is, the real reason they're afraid of him. A veteran who's seen the cost of endless war, who refuses to wrap suffering in the flag, and who dares to call the system what it is: corrupt, exploitative, and unsustainable. Platner threatens not just Republicans, but the donor class running both parties, and their media allies know it. This isn't just about Maine. It's about every voter who's tired of corporate gatekeepers deciding which voices deserve airtime. When an authentic working-class candidate rises, the establishment calls it radical. But when billionaires buy elections, they call it normal. If you believe Americans deserve leaders who serve people, not corporations, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment telling us whether the media should stop policing the left and start holding the powerful accountable.